Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Oh, it's chilly out here tonight. It's like not cold enough that I need my heated vest, but it is cold enough that I'm hoping that I can make it out here through this vlog, if that makes sense. Can we see my breath tonight? It's about 6 o'clock. Well, actually it's almost 6:30. I didn't actually really do a whole lot today. I got up today and I ended up filming. So my plan had been, because there really wasn't a lot of drama going on, and so it was like, well, maybe I won't film a drama video today and I'll just like do a vlog and like a Peterisms video and open the weights for my Peter Does Stuff channel. But I kind of want to open the weights in the new year. I'm not really inspired yet to start working out, and so I need to do that on a day that I'm like real inspired. So I had like videos I was going to do my other channels, and then I was just kind of like, I made the bed and I was like cleaning up stuff and whatever around the bedroom and like folding my clothes and putting them on my couch and whatever, like the clothes from yesterday that I had on my hoodie and stuff. And I made the bed and I was like, I guess I could just film a drama video right here. And so actually my plan for my drama video was that, I think I even said it in the video actually, was that I was going to go in and I was going to read, like, I don't even think I explained it in the video, because the video just kind of turned, actually. And so, I was going to go in and I was going to Google search. It was going to be kind of a rant video, because I didn't want to get into like any heavy drama today. You know, I just was like, okay. I stayed up way too late again last night watching Vanderpump Rules. I literally sat in that chair until like, I don't know, 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning or something. Well, I kind of knew I probably wasn't going to film a lot of videos today. I was like, if you just film a vlog, you're totally fine. Like people don't watch a lot of videos on Fridays. So I was just like, okay, if you're going to take a day off, take it, you know, on Friday or whatever. And so I was like, okay, if you just film a vlog, you film a vlog. So it was an excuse to stay up super late last night. I look for any excuse to watch Vanderpump Rules and stay up super late. So I stayed up super late watching Vanderpump Rules. I finished season 3. Am I on season 3 or season 4? Now I don't remember. I think it was on season 3 and I finished season 3. So I watched the finale part 1, finale part 2, and then the secrets that they show throughout the like unaired footage that they show on the reunion and address. So there's like 3 parts to the reunion. So I watched that, and then I started watching season 4, and I'm like 4 or 5 episodes into it. Yeah, I watched like 8 or 9 episodes last night. It's like addicting. I can't stop. So I went to bed last night. I fell asleep like right away. My trazodone worked really well last night because I was just like out. And had my little arm over Boo Radley in his little bed and stuff like that. It was so funny because last night his bed was like right next to me. Like Alex had it pushed over into my side, so I literally had like this much bed to get in. And I didn't want to disturb Boo Radley. This is when you know like your dogs are more important than anybody else in your life. And so like I kind of got into the bed on the very edge like this, and then I like turned over because I didn't want him to like jump up and get out of his little bed, his little purple bed that Lucy sent, because he's so comfortable in it. And so he like perked his head up like when I got into bed, and I was like, you're okay, Boo Radley, just stay there and whatever. And like I got into the bed and I kind of like curled in real slowly, and I put my arm over him. And it was so sweet because I was like laying there and I had my arm over the bed. Well, I could feel like he moved his head, so I like got the phone because it was pitch dark in the room, pitch black, and so I couldn't see anything. It was dark. And so obviously I've said that, yeah, it's pitch black, it was dark. So I like put the phone over the bed, and he had his little head like this over the edge of the bed. He was just like looking at me. And I was like, of course I tell him all the good things, you know, about himself. I'm always like, Boo Radley, you're the best brother in the entire world. You're the best son. You're the best dog. You're the best friend. You're the best neighbor. I tell him all those things. He just sits there and looks at me like this, or little tongue out there to the side. He's so sweet. And then the next thing I know, I was like talking to him, and then I kind of turned over and I had my own arm. I just put my whole arm over the bed. It's so small I can't. He just like hunkers right down in there. And so I had my arm over the bed, and the next thing I knew, I was like waking up. So yeah. That was last night. Not exciting. I mean, my life is not exciting of watching Vanderpump Rules. I keep on saying I'm going to like listen to this Christmas Cozy Mystery and I'm going to finish it, and then that never happens. So, I don't know. Tomorrow, tonight, maybe I'll listen to a little bit of the Christmas Cozy Mystery. Or maybe I'll watch 9 hours of Vanderpump Rules again. Who knows, right? So like I said, today I got up and I was like, well, maybe I'll just do a vlog and like a Peterisms. I kept on going back and forth in my head. So then I filmed the drama video. Oh, Alex, so today Alex went to, who is like out there? I can't see if it's my neighbor next door, my neighbor across the street. So Alex, he went and got like one of those like hydration IV things. He went with his mom and he went with our friend that we went to dinner with the other night, she and her husband. And so he went with the two of them. And then after that, he and his mom had brunch at this place in this Fisher's District. He loves this restaurant. It's called HC Tavern. They have like great salads and like they have like sliders. For me, when I've been there, they have like really good mac and cheese, but they also have this hummus plate that I love. And it's like a huge amount of hummus too, right? And they also have like celery and carrot. It's getting real cold out here. Celery and carrots and like pita bread and crackers and all kinds of stuff. And it comes on like this like small like charcuterie board. It comes on a small charcuterie board, if you know, you know. Apparently, okay, I thought the Slayton sisters came up with the term charcuterie board, but apparently it's something that they're saying all over TikTok. There's some TikTok lady and she apparently came up with the term charcuterie board, so I didn't know that. So anyway, because I said they should come up with merch and stuff. I said that Tammy Slayton should come up with merch that says, "Come eat off my charcuterie board," right? Because she's the one that says it on the show. So anyway, it's like a little small charcuterie board. It's really cute. And they have great soups in there and stuff that are vegetarian. And so there's really actually a lot of options there for me. So Alex went out to brunch with his mom. They were there for a while. He and his mom always have like super long lunches and brunches. So he just got home a little bit ago. And I asked him if he could pick up my trazodone on the way home. So he picked that up for me. And now he's upstairs just relaxing and rolling through TikTok and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, so I filmed the drama video, and then I started uploading the drama video, and then I got distracted in the kitchen, and I still haven't gone through the Christmas cards yet, and I'm, like, saving them for a special moment. I'm like, should I just sit down and put, like, a Christmas movie in, even though Christmas is over, and open all these Christmas cards? I'm like, okay, I want to save that, so I'm going to save that. And then I was, like, cleaning up some stuff in the kitchen, and getting ready to do a load of dishes and then all kind of stuff. And then I was like, I had a little bit of laundry. I didn't really have a lot. I had a little bit of laundry, and so I was like, did a load of laundry. I was almost kind of like looking to be distracted. Do you ever do that? Like I was almost kind of like looking to be distracted, you know? Then I got on YouTube while I was uploading my drama video, which is still uploading right now, and I was like looking through these stations because whenever I say it, somebody always comments on here. So would you please comment again, because I can't find the station. I can't remember what it's called. It's called like somebody's Netherworld or World or something. But it's a station, and the station is literally like listening to music in a diner in Paris while it thunderstorms outside. And so it's like old-timey kind of music, like from the 40s, and it like the screen is just like stuck on like, it's a picture of like a illustration of like a diner, or sometimes it's like a real picture, but usually like an illustration of like a diner in Paris in like the 40s. And then it plays this music in the background that sounds like it's coming from the jukebox. And you can hear it's like thunderstorming outside, but you can also hear like people open and close the door, like it's the bells in the door. I think these videos are genius. I just want you to know. And they're like hours long. They're like 2-3 hours long. I listen to like them while I'm doing work. And so I couldn't find the channel that I usually listen to. It's like the biggest one of all of them. But now there's tons of these channels. One of them is even called like Cozy Music or something like that. There's tons of these channels. So I literally was like searching old music in Paris diner while it rains outside. And this, I mean, like 6 or 10 of them pulled up. So I just started listening to this one. It was really pretty. And so I've been listening to that. I was just kind of like getting lost in the computer. My cousin Caroline told me when we were at Christmas, we were like doing this like card game thing. I don't even remember what it was called. But anyway, and there was like one of the questions was like, what's your favorite movie of all time? And Caroline said what it was. It's called like 3 Last Days or The Last Days or something. I'd never heard of this movie before. I guess it's with maybe Vince Vaughn. I don't know who it's with. But anyway. Oh, am I getting an Amazon package? Have I ordered anything from Amazon? Is it stopping in front of my house? Nope, not my house. Not today. I was like, I don't think I've ordered anything from Amazon that should be delivered today. So, tomorrow? I don't know. So anyway. So, I was like texting Caroline. I was like, "What was that movie that you said?" So I don't remember what the name of the movie is. I ended up looking it up on the Google. I love the Google. I ended up looking it up to see what it was, because I was like, I'm gonna watch that this weekend sometime. And so I like searched for it, and I like looked to see where you could find it. It's actually, I think, on Netflix. So what it is about is, and this is so cute why she said that she loved it. So it's about this guy, this woman. Apparently she like murders somebody or something, and she goes to prison, but she's innocent, and her last appeal is exhausted, so her husband breaks her out of prison and they're on the run, right? So I asked Caroline, I go, why is that your favorite movie? My cousin has seen so many movies. My Uncle Dave used to go to movies like 4 times a week. He would go to movies all the time. He saw like any movie, I don't care if it was like an animated movie, a drama, whatever, a comedy, like he had seen every movie that was out. Could it be that I'm getting something from Amazon? Hi! She's so sweet, isn't she? Because she knows me from delivering things so much. I love that. So anyway, I have to tell you, the people that deliver stuff to our houses, I mean, they are so nice. They are so nice. So anyway, I said to Caroline, I go, and we're all sitting in a big circle, you know, like playing this game. And I said, why is that? What was the game that we were playing? It was just like this card game that David had. Listen to all these sirens in the background. Somebody commented on that in a video the other day. There was all these sirens behind Peter's house. So we have a fire department that's like probably like you go up this street and then out, and it's like 2 blocks up. That's a lot of why you hear that. But we're also about 3 blocks from like a police station. It was 4 or 5 blocks maybe. I think that's why we hear a lot of sirens. So, oh my God, I was sitting out here last night and all these planes started going overhead. And I was like, this is so funny. I was just talking about this not long ago, that somebody left a comment and they're like, I never hear the planes overhead. And it was like, I was sitting out here talking on the phone, probably about 11 o'clock. And I was like, well, there was 2 different times. So I was sitting out here and I was just kind of like going through my phone and stuff like that. And then I was talking on my phone. That time I didn't really like notice it that much. And then later I was like, it kind of caught me off guard, and I was like, there are a lot of planes out here tonight. Like, what's going on? Like, I didn't hear planes forever, you know? And then there were all these planes, and I was like, what happened where there weren't all these planes and now there are planes? And I was like, or is it just that I'm not sitting outside late at night very much anymore, you know? So I'm just not hearing it out. I mean, I haven't been filming videos out here late at night and stuff like that. So I've been sitting inside a lot and whatever. So I was like, this is weird. Like, why? Maybe the planes never stopped, but they were going by all times of the day. What is going over here? There's like a bright light. Oh, my neighbors have people over next door, and so they must be leaving. It must be the lights from their car. So, what was I saying? Oh, about this movie. So I said to Caroline, I go, why is this your favorite movie? And she goes, I don't know, when I saw it, I just thought that that was something like Mike would do for me. I was like, you thought that Mike would break you out of prison? He was like, I would. I just think that's such a funny reason to, like, have a favorite movie. Like, when you think about your favorite movie, you know, like, I love the movie To Kill a Mockingbird. I think everybody knows by now that that's, like, my favorite movie of life, right? But, like, it goes, well, I should say I have several different favorite movies, different genres of movies. But one of the reasons why that's one of my favorite movies, it isn't just about the story. It isn't just about Scout and Dill and Jim and Atticus and Calpurnia and all that. I mean, I love all that. And Boo Radley, obviously. You know, I named my dog after that character. I love that character. But it isn't just about that. It's that my mom and I would always watch it, like, at least once a year in the fall, you know? The whole time I was growing up. And probably more than that. And I think it's just something that I have that's a memory of my mom and I, you know? Like, just, like, such a, like, significant memory of my mom and I, and, like, eating chili dinner and watching that movie. It just was a really, like, homey movie to me. And I also think it kind of, like, at a time where my parents were, you know, going through this divorce and whatever, it's a movie about, you know, a family where the mother has passed. And so, you know, because their mother has passed away before, you know, years before the movie started. And so I love the scene when Scout, you know, when she's asking Atticus, like, you know, like something about Jim getting his watch. And she's like, well, what do I get? And he's like, well, nothing from me, but I have a pearl necklace and I have your mother's wedding ring and things like that that I saved from you, and one day they'll be yours. I love that scene so much, you know? I don't think we pass stuff down as much as we used to, you know? My dad, like years ago, we had some conversation about, like, if my dad would pass away, is there anything of his that I wanted? And I like joked, because my dad has all these trucker hats. So my dad, when he was like 40 to 60, dressed like how I dress now, like jeans, Birkenstocks, trucker hats, had a beard. I mean, we look very similar. I look very similar. My dad and I look very similar anyway, but I look very similar to my dad when my dad was my age. And it was funny because at the time I was like super heavy. I mean, I'm still heavy, but I was 60 pounds heavier then. And he said, oh, because I wanted these my dad had forever these square toe, like cowboy boots, and I loved them. And he would always wear them with jeans, like old school Wrangler jeans. My dad has all these great t-shirts that he got from, like, my dad would go to all these different islands and stuff like that. And he has these t-shirts that say, like, Sail Naked, British Virgin Islands, you know, and like all this stuff, right? Something Honduras on it, you know. And my dad did like all this kind of like he did like medical like work, like, you know, they would live on a sailboat and then go in. He did that in Honduras and stuff. And so he's all these like t-shirts from these places. So I said, I would love to have your t-shirts and your trucker hats, because he doesn't wear them anymore, right? I mean, he had original trucker hats and things like that. And I was like, from Peterbilt. Years ago, somebody sent me trucker hats from Peterbilt, like the shipping company, like the semis, and I love them. But they're not like the ones that my dad wore back in the day. They're more like caps. They're not like actual trucker hats that, like, you know, are big. And my dad has like the trucker hats, and they're so fitted and so perfect because they're so worn in. And I was like, so I would love to have that and that and that. And he goes, well, I can give you that stuff today. He was like, but I'm telling you right now, it won't fit you. And I was like, oh, what a diss. He's like, I'm just being honest. He's like, if you want to take it home, you can take it home. Maybe it'll be motivation for you to lose weight. But he's like, you know, it won't fit you. And I was like, okay. So he's like, well, I'll put it in a box for you. When you want it, sometime you can have it. And I said, okay. And then later we were talking about it, and he said, he asked me one time, is there, like, you know, if I would ever, like, pass away, you know, whatever. I mean, my dad's 83, you know. I mean, he's still pretty healthy. And so he was like, I mean, he has some, you know, stuff going on, but nothing super serious. And so, I don't know, this was a couple years ago, and I was like, I would love to have your watch, you know, like, that would mean a lot to me to wear your watch. And he was like, okay. He was like, that's fine, you know. He was like, when I'm gone, he's like, I use that every day now. And I was like, well, you asked me, you know. So there's probably some books of my dad's and things like that might, like, really meant a lot to my dad through the years, that would mean things to me. You know, at the end of the day, and this is what's really weird about it, is they're just things, you know? Like, when my mom passed away, if you had asked me, like, before my mom passed away, what are things that, like, I would never get rid of hers, that I would always want? And at first, when she passed, I was like, I can't get rid of anything. And now, and like, y'all know I'm going through the basement and stuff. Just because I don't show it doesn't mean I'm not going through it. I'm working very hard in the basement. And so, when she first passed away, I was like, I can't get rid of any of this kind of stuff, you know? Like, I have to keep it. Like, I don't know what, you know, whatever. And now, it's like, I don't feel that way anymore. You know, at first, it was like every painting, because my mother loved artwork, I had to keep it all. Well, the majority of it's not really worth anything. And so, and that's not really a reason to keep stuff anyway, you know? If you're going to keep stuff because it's worth something, just sell it and get rid of it, is what my advice would be to you, you know? And so, now, I'm kind of like, when we're like talking about the redo and whatever, like Alex and I are going through the artwork, there's things that mean something, like there's certain things that mean something to me, and there's other things that, like, there's no monetary value to, and they don't really mean anything to me. There's probably only, like, I would say 10 pieces of art that actually mean something to me that I would keep. And then a lot of the furniture doesn't really, like this secretary desk I used to say that we have in, like, our dining room, living room area, I used to say I would never get rid of that. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore. It just doesn't. Like, it can go when we do the redo, and we can sell it. The one thing that's interesting, because I never would have thought of this before my mom passed away, but it's the one thing that means the most to me. Well, all of her recovery literature and all her meditation books, like, I will never get rid of those. Like, that means just a lot to me, because it's symbolic of my relationship in recovery with my mom. And also just to kind of, like, read her notes. She, like, would write notes, and she has papers stuck in there and stuff like that, just to read those and whatever. Her journals, I'll never get rid of those. But, like, I have a box in the basement that has, like, my mom's, I bought her this it was like this tortoise shell. It was like fake tortoise shell. It was like looking like Nike watch that was waterproof. I have that in there. I have my mom's glasses. I have her wallet, and I have this like bag of like her, like just some of her jewelry, and none of it is worth anything. Some of her jewelry that was like her favorite, and then I also have her charm bracelet that my grandma like got one for my mom and one for my aunt when she was in high school. Caroline wants these glasses. She sent me a picture of them the other day that she wants, and I think I got rid of them along, like glasses, like stemware, like drinking glasses, and they're apparently you can't buy them anymore. They're like discontinued, and there's something that came out in the 70s, and her mom had them and my mom had them. And I'll just show you a picture sometime. But anyway, I grew up drinking out of those glasses. I don't know if they're here. I don't know where they are. They're not in the basement, and they're not in the kitchen because I cleaned out the kitchen. So I don't think we have them anymore. But obviously anything that Caroline wanted, I would give her, right? I mean, at this point, anything anybody wanted, I would give them just to get rid of it. But the one thing, okay, of like physical property that I will probably never, ever, as long as I live, get rid of, because I love it. First of all, it's in perfect condition. Second of all, and third, it reminds me so much of my mom, is the chrome and black leather chair that's in the kitchen that has an ottoman that matches. And I think my parents got it at like the store called Scandinavian Living or something like that, and my mom used to say it was expensive. She was like, this is one of the most expensive things in the house because we loved it, and I'll never get rid of it. The leather is so soft. It's like kind of like this chair that kind of like slants back like that, and then it has like this ottoman. It's like very contemporary looking, which is different because my mom didn't love contemporary stuff, but she had it next to, it was in our library when I was growing up, and she had it like in the corner next to the stereo, and it had this like table. So my mom used to have this spool table. Do you guys know what a spool table is? Where you, like old people, like not old people, but like in olden times they would keep spools of thread in. I have it in the garage. It's like so destroyed at this point. It just needs to go, but my mom would never get rid of it. She used it as a table next to this thing, and then she would sit there for hours, and she would just listen with her headsets on, and she would cry or laugh or, you know, talk on the phone, but mostly listen to music and drink is what she would do. And I have that memory of my mom, and it's really, to be honest with you, I have like, I can sometimes like, I can see it as a sad memory, but mostly it's like a comforting, happy memory, because I can just remember seeing my mom there, like at the end of the day when the dinner was done and everything was done, and she'd have her feet up like on the ottoman, you know, like pulled up, and she'd just be sitting there in like some comfortable sweater, and like, you know, and that's like a younger version of my mom when she was probably like in her 30s, you know, early 40s that I remember, and she's just sitting there with these big headphones on, you know, with it plugged into the stereo, listening to like, you know, I don't know, Judy Collins, Joan Baez, Bob Dylan, Led Zeppelin, Fleetwood Mac, whoever, you know, and she'd just sit there and she'd sing out loud sometimes and stuff because we had French doors, so they closed into the library, and I'll never get rid of that chair. I love that chair. It reminds me of my mom, you know. So there's a couple other things. There's a couple pieces of artwork. There's a local artist that my mom and my aunt actually both used to collect. I think she's since passed away, but she lived on Talbot Street, which is where there's a bar called Talbot Street, or there used to be. That's where Alex and I met, was this gay bar called Talbot Street. But Talbot Street's actually a street in Indianapolis, and it has like really old, like historic houses on it and stuff like that. But it also had the Heron School of Art, which was the art college here in Indianapolis. And that was attached to Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis, IUPUI. And so it was at the very end of Talbot Street. And so they would have the Talbot Street Art Fair every year. And my mom, like in the 70s and stuff, would go with my aunt. And there was this artist there. I think she's since passed away, and her name was J.T. Johnson. And she would, and actually when the appraiser came, because you have to have an appraiser like for an estate after somebody passes away, when she came to the house, like nothing was worth anything. Like the silverware that my mom was like her fancy silverware, it was like, I thought it was like worth something, it wasn't worth anything. Like really nothing that my mom had was really worth anything, you know, maybe some of her bags and stuff like that, but none of it was really worth anything. And to be honest with you, a lot of that I just kind of had a breakdown one day and just threw in a bunch of trash bags and just donated and got rid of it. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And I don't even know what was in those bags or whatever, you know. I just started pulling stuff off hangers and just shoving it. I was like, I need to clean this stuff out. I've had those days throughout time where I'm like, okay, I used to call them mom days. I don't call them that anymore. It's easier for me to go through stuff in my basement now and go through stuff and just clean it out and just be like, okay, I'm never going to use this. I literally have not used this or looked at it in 15 years. There's no reason for it to be in the house, is how I feel about it. Early on, it was really tough to get rid of a lot of that stuff. Like when you see stories you know, and that's my mother, you know, and she was older. I mean, she wasn't old, but she was 64. I mean, she was older, you know. And so when I see movies about like parents, like true crime stories or even just drama movies, you know, where parents have lost kids and they keep their bedrooms the same for years and years on end, I get it. I totally do. Like, I mean, it was hard enough losing a mother. I can't imagine losing a kid, you know, and then having to get rid of all their stuff. I just can't even imagine, you know, what it would be like. There's no way, you know, or a spouse or something like that. I had a friend of mine whose husband passed away, and she would just like stand there and look in his closet, and then like one day she just like bagged up all of his stuff and donated it, like everything out of his closet. She's like, she had given some stuff to the kids and his kids, and so like he had kids from previous marriage, and so she gave, like, saved some stuff and gave it to them that they wanted. But everything else that they didn't want, she just like bagged suits, everything. Just wanted. She's like, I can't have it here anymore. It's like too much for me just to look at it. I feel like he's just gonna come home any moment. You know, I can still smell him on the clothes. I think she kept like a sweatshirt and like something else of his that smelled like him. I kept my mom's like 2 of her perfume bottles that she used to wear pretty regularly. I have that in the box down in the basement. I forgot about that. But yeah, like even like I put that in there 10 years ago, and I don't think I maybe one time brought it out. She used to wear this perfume that I bought her called Zen, and then she wore Michael Kors for men, or Michael Kors for women, and we bought them for each other the same year. Those 2 bottles are down there. There's another one that I think I have 3 bottles in there, and they're like, there's really nothing left in them. But I think in 10 years, I maybe, like when I'm working through the basement, like and it's in like a small ornament box that's like a Christmas gift box. It's where everything is. And I think like in 10 years, I mean, her wallet has like literally like her Kroger card and like her driver's license. That's it. That's all that's in there. I think like and maybe like her Speedway card or something like that. There's like nothing in her wallet. And in 10 years, I think I've probably pulled out her perfume and smelled it like once, maybe twice. You know, so I don't even know why I hold on to that stuff. And I'll probably get rid of that at some point. You know, it's easier as time goes on to get rid of that stuff. I don't really have like any clothes of my mom's that I smell. Every once in a while, like I'll come to the house and I smell my mom, but it doesn't smell like that perfume. It just smells like my mom. I don't really know how to explain it. And it's weird. And I'm kind of like, oh, I think mom visited today, you know? But that's just kind of how I make sense of it. You know, it is what it is. But I don't know. It's weird how grieving works because, you know, like so I'm coming up on the end of 7 years of vlogging, which is totally surreal to me. You know, like we're going into our 8 years together over here. Some of you have been around from the very beginning, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for staying. I mean, you've stayed here through 7 years of nonsense on this channel. Not nonsense, but you know, storytelling, telling the same stories over and over and over again. I mean, you guys are basically like my husband. You have to hear the same stories over and over and over again, you know? And so, you know, the first like year or 2 that I vlogged, I used to tell so many stories of my mom, and I would just like bawl my eyes out and whatever. I just did yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before that I was talking about my stepmom and her, like, when was that I was talking about that, and her helping my mom get into the hospital and stuff like that. But you know, that's really about, that's not like, that crying is not about sadness over missing my mom. I don't know how it portrays and watching a video, but that's really not what it's about. It's really about, I'm so grateful that my mom and my stepmom were able to get along, you know, like, and looking at, I've had so many friends of mine that just do not get along with their step-parents, and their stepmother or stepfather and their other parent do not get along, and they hate each other, and it makes their life difficult. It's really out of that, the thankfulness and the gratitude of that. It's really joy is really what I'm crying about. I think I even said that, you know. It's not out of sadness. But, you know, like, because the first 2 years I, like, cried my eyes out on this vlog talking about my mom, and it was really cathartic for me. I actually think I needed to do that. I actually think a huge part of my grieving occurred on this channel, and I'm forever thankful for that. You know, I think I just needed to tell all these stories of my mom, and then I can remember talking about, like, you know, after my aunt and uncle passed away and whatever, talking about, like, when people start passing away in your life. I remember talking about this in several videos. It's like, you know, like, who knows your past? Remember that? I used to say that. And then, like, I talked about that and I processed. I mean, this vlog has been so cathartic for me to talk about these things that are just in my head, right? And hopefully in helping other people, too. I don't know. You guys just, you seem, Some people just love to listen to it, and some people say that it helps them at times and whatever, you know, and that means a lot to me. But, you know, then I kind of got over that, of feeling like there's nobody out there that knows my past. Then I kind of was like, well, I have 7 years of sharing stories on video. I mean, a lot of you guys know my past. My husband knows my past. I've told him the stories. Caroline knows some of it. They don't know all of it. I think that was it. Like, who's around that knows me from the very beginning? And really, at the end of the day, I don't know. Like, I've come into a point of a lot of acceptance in this last year. And I think that's one of the pieces. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it just really doesn't. I mean, until I don't remember anymore, I remember the stories. Maybe that's all that matters, you know? Maybe I don't need somebody around. The camera stopped. It was a 30-minute mark. You know, maybe I don't need somebody around to retell those stories with all the time. You know, this Christmas, it was interesting. Like, Caroline and I didn't really, I mean, a couple times, like, we would say something about, oh, like, the table setting, like, she had place settings, and I was like, oh, that's so like your mother, and stuff like that. But it's not even like, we usually have a moment where we sit down and kind of, like, you know, whatever, tell some memories and whatever. We didn't really do that this year. You know, I'm really trying to live in the present, live in the moment. I have this friend of mine. Like, I just happened to be, like, looking through her Facebook, and it was, like, she was, like, literally for the last 3 months, it's, like, all of these old memories that she's reposting and resharing from, like, years ago. And my friend, I feel for her because she really struggles. She doesn't watch this channel, so she won't ever, you know about this. But, like, I really feel for her. It's not Tanya. It's nobody that I've ever talked about on this channel. I feel for her, you know, because, like, I even texted her and I was like, you know, like, are you doing okay? Like, I'm worried about you, you know? And she was like, yeah, everything's fine, you know? But, like, I don't know. I tell so many stories from the past. One of the reasons why, and I probably will continue to. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not going to do that. Like, I love telling stories. I'm a storyteller. I love sharing things that happened to me in the past, you know? And, but, like, I don't want to live in it all the time, you know? And she's done that for years that I've known her, and I feel like she's reminiscent of a really, because it's all from, like, this one point in her life when things were really good for her. She has a great life today, you know, but I think she always compares it to this one point in her life. And this isn't anything that I wouldn't say to her. I mean, if we went out to dinner tonight, I'd be like, hey, I was talking about this in a vlog. And she'd say, okay, I don't care. You know? She's like, nobody knows what you're talking about. You know, I mean, like, I would say it to her face. I'd say, I'm a little worried about you. It's like, you know, everything you put, like, you have an amazing life today. You're in this amazing marriage. You know, you have everything you could want. You've got peace and serenity in your life, you know, all this kind of stuff. But, like, you post all these memories from this one period of your life that I think was the happiest. It's like, you know, my ex, who was a hairstylist, he would say to me, I always thought this was so interesting, this perspective that he had. I don't know if he learned this in school or he came up with it on his own or whatever, right? But he said to me one time, he said, people typically keep their haircut. And if you see somebody that has the same haircut for years and years and years, they don't want to change it up and they're scared to change it up. It's usually because that haircut reminds them of a time that they were happiest. So they've always kept that hairdo ever since then, right? And I was like, that's so interesting, you know? And he's like, a lot of people that come into my chair and just sort of like, do whatever you want to do. I want to change it up. I want to like completely just cut off 10 or 12 inches or whatever. He was like, a lot of those people that are constantly keeping it that way are people that are very spontaneous, live in the moment, and things like that. I always thought that that was so interesting that he would say that, you know? I don't know. I think, like, my friend's a good example. I don't want to live in the past. I think it's one thing, like, I talk about in recovery, we talk about, we don't forget the past nor do we close the door on it. I don't ever want to stop telling stories from my past because I enjoy doing that. That's fun for me. But I also don't want to live in the past to the point where I'm, like, sad all the time about it, you know? Like, this is what I was going to say about grieving. Like, I miss my mom. You know, I'm grieving. I'm always grieving, you know? Like, when people say to me, like, when are you going to stop talking about your mom, when are you get over it? I probably never will, you know? But the first 2 years that I was on here, I was talked about my mom a lot. I was, like, literally, I think, grieving on camera. You know, and then it was, like, when my aunt and uncle passed away, like, who knows my past, who knows my history? Then I kind of got over that. And then, it was interesting. I mean, it's been 15, almost 16 years now that my mom's been gone. I mean, it's a long time. It's a really long time, you know? It's longer than you're in elementary, junior high, and high school. It's a long time. It's longer than most people have been married, you know? And so, I think about that in perspective, and I'm like, as time has gone on, like, I used to say there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my mom and whatever. That's not true anymore. I mean, first of all, a long time ago, this stopped feeling like this was my mom's house and this is our house. Like, that changed a long time ago, you know? I mean, I think about when I, like, put flowers out here and stuff like that, like, my mom would love that. Like, I think about it, like, in context like that. But the days of me being like, I so miss my mom today, like, those days aren't really around anymore. And I think that would make my mom happy, because I don't think my mom would want me to live in the past constantly and be so upset and just constantly just being like, God, I wish she was here, I wish she was here, I wish she was here, I wish she was here. I don't think she would want that for me, you know? That wishing that person was here, I mean, at first I think that's completely normal. There's no time limit on grief. Do what you gotta do, right? But at some point, I think we all know they're not coming back. And so if they truly loved us, the one wish they would want for us is to continue to live our lives. I don't think they would want us to forget them, but they would want us to live our lives, you know? I've told Alex, if I'm not here anymore, find somebody else. You know, I would want you to find somebody else and be happy. And he's like, no, I would never get in a relationship again. I'd just be single and date. He's like, that's what I would do. I don't want to, you know, it's too much. It's a lot of work. I'm like, okay. I don't, you know, like, I thought about that. Like, if Alex and I ever did get divorced, we're probably, right now, honest to God, we are probably in the best place that we've been. I mean, since probably, like, around our wedding. And maybe even better than that, you know? In all honesty, like, I'm so proud of where we're at in our marriage. I'm so happy. And I feel like I look at him and I'm just like, damn, I'm so lucky this man is my husband. I think he is so sexy. I think he is so gorgeous. I think he's so cute. I think he's so handsome, and he's so kind, but at the same time snarky and sarcastic and funny, you know, and keeps me on my toes, and romantic, and, you know, and just, you know, flirty, and I don't know, like, we really worked really hard to have the relationship that we have today, you know, and develop it and culture it into this way that it is, you know, and transform it into this relationship that we wanted. And that doesn't mean that 2 or 3 years from now we won't transform it into something else that we want, you know? I don't know. But it's cool that we're there. And I think, like, time, you know, they say time heals all wounds. I don't know about that. Time transforms things, you know? Like, I don't think about my mom. I wouldn't say I don't think about my mom a lot. I don't think about my mom often. Unless it's in context to, like, a song or something like that comes on. I don't think about my aunt and uncle often anymore, you know? Unless it's like, honest to God, and this is going to sound horrible, but, like, of all the people and things in my life that are gone today, the things I think about the most are PP and Tucker. Honest to God, like, every single day I think about them, you know? And maybe it's because it hasn't been that long. It's just been a couple years, you know? For Tucker, it's been, what, 1.5 years? And for PP, it's been, I think, 3 years. You know, right this week. And so, but, like, also, like, interacting with Boo, I think about them, like, being on the bed and, you know, following me around while I film videos and stuff like that. We don't talk enough in society about the impact that pets have on our lives. You know, we don't talk about the powerful grieving process that goes along with losing pets. We don't talk about that enough. We should talk about it more, but we don't, you know? I don't know. I never claimed to be a master of this grieving thing. I never thought I had it figured out. I still don't have it figured out. I just know to put one foot in front of the other, put one foot in front of the other, and just feel things as they come and allow that to happen, you know? Like I said, this year has been, like, a big year of growth but not even a big year of growth necessarily. I think that, but, well, growth in certain areas, maybe. I don't feel like I've had any, like, huge changes this year. A few, you know, but I think it's been a year of awareness for me. You know, of, like, the power of acceptance, the power of awareness, the power of gratitude and living in gratitude. These things I've said for years, I think this year I finally, like, got it, you know? I hope so. And I think going into the next year, I think this living in the moment and living in the present and just enjoying it, I think by the end of next year, that's who I will be. I think I will practice it enough that I'm doing that, you know? I think, you know, like, one of the reasons why my vlogs, I don't think it's just that they're shorter because I'm sitting on the front porch versus, you know, driving around in a car. I don't think that's one of the reasons why they're shorter. You know, I think one of the reasons why they've tended to be shorter is because I focused more on what's happening today. instead of constantly telling stories from my past. You know, there's a million stories I could tell from my past, and I'm still going to do that. I'm going to continue to do that, you know? And some vlogs will be, I mean, when it starts getting warmer out here, you know, trust me, I will be filming longer and longer out here, you know? I didn't do a lot of that. I kind of figured that out late last year, you know, but like I will do that, you know, with vlogs and with my drama channel. I don't know why it didn't occur to me to film all my videos out here on the front porch. I love it out here, you know. This is such a great place. I don't know, I love it out here. So, and I will tell stories from my past. I'll tell stories from of currently what's going on in my life, and I'll tell hopes and dreams for my future, you know. That's called living, I think. But I also want to live in the moment. I want to live in the present. I really want to enjoy those things. Because I think that those things are important too. And I'm grateful for the ability to do that, you know? I'm so grateful for that. For the ability to do that. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. I think that's why it's important, like goals versus resolutions and whatever. That was going to be my Peterisms video today, maybe tomorrow. But why I don't do resolutions. The reason I don't do resolutions is because when I do, what I did back in the day, it's my New Year's resolution to do this or lose weight or all these kinds of things, you know, or get healthy and whatever. It's like, then by the second, I was like, well, that you failed at that, so just forget it's over. But a goal is something that you work toward. So it doesn't matter if on the second you're failing. You can keep on working, you know, down the road, down the road, down the road. And if you don't achieve it till August, October, or even December, well, you're still a goal you're working on. That's why I like goals versus resolutions, you know. But I think, like, I have goals on my goal list this next year for losing weight, getting healthy, writing 2 books, trying to put this movie together, you know, things like that. But I also have things on there like take a day off when you want to or need to. Not even when you need to, just when you want to. Just get up and say, I'm not filming any videos today. Just because maybe you just want to read a book or watch Vanderpump Rules, you know? Just take a day off. Learn to take more days off. Learn to be more present. Learn to be aware of the small things. You guys know I've talked for a long time about the small things are the things that are important in life. I want to pay more attention to those small things. You know, I want to be more present. And it's these ideas that I want to lean into and be more aware of, you know. I want to be more aware of what's going on in my life right around me, you know. Sometimes when I'm uploading a video and talking on the phone and doing this and doing that and drinking a Diet Coke, it's like all this is going on around me, and I'm losing sight of, I love this Christmas pillow over here so much. Because, I mean, can we just talk about this Christmas pillow before I take it in for the year? I mean, can we just talk about this, okay? Red tartan plaid Christmas trees, okay? On this, like, sweater material with bells. I mean, I just want to be present. I just want to be present and appreciative of those things that are in my life, you know? Because they matter. So with that being said, I'm getting cold, so I'm gonna get off here now and go upload my drama video, and then, I don't know, we still have Miami. We didn't watch any of those shows last night that I said we were gonna watch. So I still have Miami to watch, or we have Miami to watch in Beverly Hills, and then, Vanderpump Rules. That's my plan for the night. So anyway, that's my plan for the night. Get the drama video up, get the vlog up, close out the computer, and then, and just relax. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Friday and the most fantastic beginning to New Year's weekend. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want, or your week, or your weekend. Hey, you could even start your year over right now if you needed to. I know you only got a few days left, but listen, Linda, it's not too late, okay? 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. Just do things that are kind for people because it's nice. Give them a compliment, you know, I don't know, buy somebody a coffee, let somebody go in front of you. Just do some nice things, you know, because it makes you feel good, first of all. It really does, okay? The not telling people is, because we want to so bad, don't we? But the not telling people is just to put goodness and kindness out there in the world. It's not even about trying to be the most altruistic person. It's just like, if you can do nice deeds for people and not tell them what they are, then what you realize is it just kind of becomes this thing that you're doing over time of like just putting, you know, good deeds and nice things out in the world. I'm not necessarily there yet, okay? Trust, I'm not. I still do a few nice things and tell people sometimes. I'm all right. I'm human, but I'm working on it. Work in progress. So anyway, we'll all get there one day, or we won't, but at least we'll be working towards it, right? And third, make sure to reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you, whether it's a text or a phone call or just a visit. You never know. A postcard, letter, whatever. Christmas card, even though Christmas is over. New Year's card, Easter card. I don't know. Summer card, whatever you want to do. Just reach out to somebody and let them know how much it means to you. For a lot of people, they don't hear from anybody in a day. My phone hardly ever rings. I don't think my phone, other than my husband coming home, has rang once today, you know? And so, you know, you never know. You might be putting a smile on somebody's face, like I always say. You might be cheering them up. You might be making them feel not so all alone. And you might be the high point of their day. You just don't know. You might be making, you know. So also be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and most importantly, be kinder and love yourselves a little bit more, because the more you love yourself and the kinder you are to yourself, the more you'll love others, and the more you will be kinder to others, and the more you will love others as well. And I love you guys so much. I love you guys so much, and I am freezing, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Oh, and for those, anybody out there, one more, I love you. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Happy New Year, Lena. Well, not yet. Happy birthday, Lena. Bye. Love you.